every day. Yeah. Thank you. Okay. Thank you. Any other questions from the audience? So now I'll give it over to Dr. Mohammed Yusuf sir, who will be conducting the next technical session on emerging trends in network security and AI applications.
Laptop.
No, I don't need slide. Thank you. Hello, hello, hello. Is that too loud or is it okay? Thank you. All right. Can you guys see or should we close the light? Yeah. Perfect. Thank you. Thank you again for the amazing introduction. Thank you everyone here to come. I understand that today is weekend, you can be sitting home, but you came today to see some of the presentations, so I thank you for that as well. My session might be a little bit different, so I'm a little bit more involved to the technical side. So I'll try to provide some demonstration. First of all, I'll explain about security issues that we have, and then I'll talk about security measures that we can implement as well. So hopefully during the session, I will ask few participants to come to the stage and do some practical skills later on. So hopefully you would have the courage to just stand up and come and participate, or I'll try to choose randomly. I was also speaking with Professor Ishwar, and he helped me a lot with this as well. All right. So the first demonstration that I want to do mainly, before I explain the security measure, can you guys see this, right? So this is an email, or pretending to be an email from Netflix. Do you all know Netflix? All use Netflix, okay. So I wanted to try to use a case study that we are mainly familiar with. So this is an email with Netflix, right? The subject mainly says an urgent unusual login attempt detected on your Netflix account. from Netflix support, and it says the following: Dear customer, we have detected an unusual login attempt to your Netflix account from a new device. To ensure your account security, we require you to verify your identity and reset your password immediately. This is the time, the location, and where the device that I was using. It says that if this was not you, please log in and update your password to prevent unauthorized access using the following link. Failure to act within 24 hours may result in temporary suspensions of your account for security reasons. Okay? So just merely briefly reading the email. Okay. So first thing first, can anyone tell me what is wrong or what is suspicious about this email? Does it look legit? Is it a good email? It's not. So a lot of people say it's not. So why is it not? Suspicious? Yes. So why is it suspicious? What is suspicious?
Because there is telling following the link. Click on the link.
Yes. So it's telling us to follow the links. And also, the first thing is when we get an email, the first thing that we need to pay attention to is mainly who is the email coming from. Okay? Always. That's the first rule. So who is the email coming from? Is it Netflix? Is it Netflix? Yes. So what do we notice here? You can see that it says support at Netflix. But what is this? Number one. Is this an I? No. That's not an I. That's number one. Okay. So this is one of the things that we can detect. And also the sense of urgency. So it gives us some false information to tell us that this is fake, this is not you. And I will say like, yeah, this is not me. I was not in New York on 14th of 2025. I did not use a Windows 10 Chrome browser during that time. So what would I do? I would feel that I'm intimidated. Okay, there's an issue. My account might be getting hacked. So a lot of people, because of that urgency, they try to act fast. So they don't pay attention to the details. They don't see that was I instead of Netflix and so on. And they say that they have a time, so it's only 24 hours. So what do? They go right away and click the following link, okay? So what I will do right now is I will click the link. Yeah. So sorry for that. It's taking longer than expected to load the page. No, it shouldn't need an internet. It should use the local browser as well. Local internet.
ಕರೆಂಟ್ ಹೋಗಿತ್ತು ಅಲ್ಲ ಅಲ್ಲೇ ಮಿಡ್ಲ್ ಎಲ್ಲರೂ ಪ್ರಾಬ್ಲಮ್ ಆಗುತ್ತೆ ಕೆಳಗಡೆ ಕರೆಂಟ್ ಹೋಗಿತ್ತು
Just give me a second.
ಸ್ವಿಚ್ ಹತ್ರ ಏನಾಗುತ್ತೆ ಎಲ್ಲಿ ಸ್ವಿಚ್
ಕೆಳಗಡೆ
ಇಲ್ಲ ಹುಡುಕಿ
That's how the idea started. Yeah. Yes. Yes. Yeah. That's how I started.
ಸಿದ್ರಾಮ್ ಫುಲ್ ಐತೆ ಸಿದ್ರಾಮ್ ನೋಡಿ
Set up. This one, okay.
ಇಷ್ಟೊತ್ತು ಬರ್ತಾಯಿತ್ತು
Nice. Let's try. Not really. Let me try to do something else with it. Start. It's the one that mainly we use for cybersecurity and hacking, cybersecurity. When we have the station, we use it. Maybe it's, I don't think it's because of that. I don't know what the issue is. But yeah, if it didn't work, we can just move on to the other session. Sir, this is a this is started right?
The direction. If there's a problem with technicals. If there's a problem.
No, I think this is the problem with the laptop.
Your laptop?
But no, I'll fix it. If I didn't fix it, I'm just going to move into the next.
Yeah, sure, I don't mind.
Google server is active.
It's okay. So. I'll try something else.
We'll check it.
Yeah, I think. Yeah, I'll try to do the charger because no it's power on. You can take this off, take that one. Charging. Is it on? It's gonna be good.
ಇವ್ರದ್ದು ಚಾರ್ಜ್ ಅರ್ಧರೇ ಇನ್ನೊಂದು ಲ್ಯಾಪ್ಟಾಪ್ ತೊಗೊಂಡಿದ್ರು ಎರಡು
Luckily, I always have a backup. Yes, but I also have virtual box. So I can... Yeah, I have both. So it's here. This is my limit. So yeah, it's business. Yes. So in case it didn't work, I'm just going to use virtual box. I think I also have the image. I don't think I need. Because the session that I'm using it does not need internet.
Offline.
Yeah. I'll fix that.
Sorry? Yes. Non-dominated genetics algorithm. Non-dominated consulting. Which one? Heuristic algorithm. Yes, the heuristic algorithm. No. Genetics algorithm is the Rita heuristic. Yes. Yes, this one is the other. Yes. 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 Genetics algorithm is the Rita heuristic. It's balanced. One as well. Yes.
Right, yeah, so for the technical issue, I had to use VirtualBox back. What is it? That's it.
Yes.
Yeah, that's good.
Yeah.
I did duplicate, so it's very nice.
That's
I won't extend it now.
That's what I suggest.
Thank you.
I don't want to say
Right, yeah, so for that, let's go back to it. So as we said, the issue that we had is the suspicious email, okay? And we've read the email, so I'm just gonna go through this a little bit quicker because we have a lot to cover. So the usual thing would be just to go and update your password, right? Okay? And then it will provide you with the page that you want to go, okay? Okay, can I have any participant? Anyone want to participate in the exercise? Yeah, sure. Okay. Yeah, any students want to participate?
Come on, have the courage. You have to practice, right? That's what I said. Don't be shy. Yes.
Thank you so much. Right. So what you can do is try to enter your email, not fake email, okay? And enter a password that's also fake password, okay? Yeah, you can go ahead. Okay. Yeah, enter fake email, fake password, yeah. Whatever you want, whatever you want. Okay. So mainly what happens here is, again, you get the email, and with the email you have that sense of urgency. That sense of urgency will tell you what, go write your email, go write your password, so you can do what? So you can update your password, because if you didn't do that within 24 hours, then your password will be removed. Yes, go ahead. Okay. So always, for me, each time you try to learn something new, it is different. Some people learn from visuals, so they like to see graphs, they like to see tables, some figures in order to better. Some can just do good with just reading. and some can learn better with practicals and tasks as well. So for me, as a learner, I always like to learn by trying things out. So if in a computer science department in particular, if you're either making an application, making a web development using whether Python, HTML, CSS, so the good thing is to always try to practice and to do your project yourself as well. All right, okay? So, thank you so much. Right. So mainly the user, or what we say is the victim, what they do is that they come and they try to write their username and password. And they do this as soon as possible. And what should happen here, because there's no internet connection, it should direct you to the actual Netflix account, okay? So right now the victim, they did write their email, yes. They did write their password, yes. So what do you think happened at the back end? Okay? So let's see what the application. So do you guys see that?
Yes.
So this is the email, and also this is the password that has been written. So this, what happened, I've just sent a link to the victim. So right now I put the link on my local host, but I can send this link to anyone. So anyone who opened that link, they type their username and the password. For me, in the machine, my machine is gonna open right here, okay? So some of you would say that because my main point is security, and I want to talk about security. So the first thing is how easy do you think I needed to implement the previous? How easy do you think it? Do you think it's medium? Do you think it's very hard? Hard? Medium? For the application, okay? So let's see how easy is it. How scary is it? So the application is mainly called Next Special, okay? And it have pre-made templates, okay? So the one that I used was mainly just Netflix. But what do we have? We have Facebook, Instagram, Google, Minecraft, and different GitHub and different mainly website templates, okay? So for example, the previous one that I did was Netflix. So let's try Instagram. Traditional login page. And I'm going to use this in the local host, okay? So it will provide me with this link. What can I do with this link? I can copy this link, put it in text, mask it with text as well. And then when a victim go to that links, what are they going to have? This is the Instagram login page, right? Anything they want to write here, so let's go Karnataka Uni at anything.com. What password should I put? Anything, so I'm going to put password 123. Any information that the victim put, it will be registered here right away. So it would show you how scary is it that you can be a victim of those things. So understanding this, and that's why I wanted to start with this practical session, because understanding this will help us better understand how we can prevent from doing this. So from the email, always when you open a link, try to always look, let me make this a little bit bigger. Always look at the URL on the top. So if it's not from a legitimate website, so it's not from netflix.com and it's mainly an IP address or so on, always pay attention before you write any information. Okay, so again, this mainly because of the time, and I did waste a lot of time in the previous task. So I'm going to try also another task as well, okay? So the next task that what I'll do, and this is going to be the final task. When I finish with this task, we're going to start with the security measures. So let's say that you have a secure file, okay? So this is made a file that I just created. And let's put anything we want in that file, okay? And what do I want to do? I want to set a password for that file, okay? So what I'm going to do, I'm going to set a password, okay? Okay, yeah, so I'm going to set a password. So we always understand that it tells you never put a common password, yes? Never put a weak password, right? So mainly because those attacks, they use something called a dictionary attack. So let me show you the word list. Yeah, I will show you the file. I'll try to show you after. Okay, so this is one. Okay, so why does it tell you not to use a common password? Let me make this a little bit bigger. All of these mainly are password. Okay, and you can see how long. Those are mainly common password. Almost any software, when they try to use a common password that you already have, and it would have different names of cities, something that people use. Okay, so this is mainly the default password, or sorry, the word list dictionary that we do. So we can use any of this. So let's say you put our password as test123. So for our project, or for this file, so let's put test123, okay? So in here we created our secure folder, okay? So even we tried to now open it or extract this folder, it will ask us for the password, so we can't do this, okay? Now my question to you, how long do you think it would take to decrypt that file? How long do you think? Is it 5 minutes, 10 minutes, 1 week? Minutes? If you think minutes, you can raise your hand. Minutes? Hours? What about weeks? Seconds? Seconds? Oh, I see seconds, okay. I'll say. Yeah, so what did I call it? Oops. Okay, so let's see. Okay, so I didn't start yet. So let's see how long will it take as soon as I start the decryption process. And you can see the passwords here. Let me make this a little bigger. So, because yeah, in here it tells you the time that it needed. So technically, as a computer needed, it almost took not even 1 second, but mainly because it would take time to display the information. So it took almost no seconds to get us the password. So understand that right now with phishing emails, with cracking password, it's just very, very easy, right? So done with the technical part. Let's now move with the prevention mechanisms. Thank you. That's fine. So, right. So in the technical side, so we've seen that the previous password, because mainly I had a wordless, it took a couple of seconds, right? So if I have a password of 8 characters, okay, how long do you think it would take to crack that password? Okay, so because I can barely hear you, so I will say if seconds, raise your hand, if hours, raise your hand, or if you think weeks or years, raise your hand, okay? So 8 characters, seconds? Seconds, yes, okay. You think we take minutes? Or we take minutes, okay, hours? So everyone is between minutes and seconds, okay. So what if we added numbers to those 8 characters? How long would it take?
Less.
Less? Okay. What if we added special characters? Minutes? Hours? I think hours, weeks? Okay, what if we added characters, special characters, and also we added capital letters? Years? Okay, so let's see the following. So if you hear, this is mainly a graph that will show you the number of characters. If only numbers, so if you're only using, for example, 4 characters only, 8 characters, all the way to 11 characters, and they're just mainly numbers, the cracking of the password or the decrypting of the password will be instant, okay? And you will see as soon as you start to use a little bit of lower cases with upper cases, the number upper cases and also lower cases, also number and lower cases, it will even be harder and harder, okay? So this is exactly the machine that I have. We tried to test also this out in the lab, so we tried to do a brute force attack, and we tried to test if this is actually true. And again, it might depend on your resource and what desktop you're using. So always try to use a very secure password, because it's so easy to decrypt passwords. So the minimum that I would say, for example, to be a 40 years old, so 40 years to decrypt the password, so it would be 10 characters long, and it would have at least upper and lower letters. That's even without the special characters. You will see if we add a special character, then it will take what? 55 million years, 30 billion years, 3 billion years, and so on. All right. So mainly how the decryption and the encrypting process works. So it's with the password that we just did, it works with something we call hashing algorithm. So mainly hashing is a one-way algorithm, right? So this algorithm, you give any type of input. This input could be a text, it could be an image, it could be a whole file, it could be a whole software, it could be whatever. So with this, we go with a specific cryptographic hash function, and it will always give you a fixed length, what we call it a hash. And usually we use this hash in order to decrypt passwords. So first of all, we do it hash it. Why do we use this method? Because almost every single system right now, with the most basic of security, they do not store password in plain text, okay? So you should not store password, for example, your username and just your password. So always this password is stored as a hash, which also going to create a problem later on, and we can solve it with something called salting. So just let me to try to clarify what do you mean by hashing and also. So this is mainly how passwords should be stored. So we have the username, and you have, in a way, the hash that should be stored, okay? An issue that we have, as we said, hash is a one-way algorithm. So you cannot decrypt hash, you cannot do that. But we can know the output of the hash. From knowing the output of the hash, we would be able to recognize, okay, since the output is, for example, this is the output that we have. Since this is the output, and we know that this password gives this output, that means I will know the password based on the output. And this through time, because we're trying to use hash for security, through time this created mainly an issue. What is the issue? People will use similar common password, and we will have the same hash. As soon as I see multiple hash, I will know that this is the password. So later on, what did we do? We added something called sorting. Okay, so this is sorting. Main is the process of adding random characters to each password. With this, we will have a different hash every single time. Okay, so this is also again one of the security things that we also can use. Right. So next, I will mainly move to the security based on IoTs. This is mainly the research area that I'm more involved in. Also, I have another slide mainly for certification path roads. Okay, so you will see with security, and I think it will help you a lot. Yeah, we can do this at the end of the session. If you want to be specialized in network security, it will be different than software security. It will be different from computer security. It will be different. So I have a really good pathway to show you what certification you need to take in order to reach the stage that you want. Yeah. So I'm sure most of you here heard of IoT, Internet of Things. So what is IoT mainly? Mainly it's a collection of devices, objects, and services, mainly to accomplish a common objective. And there's many also different definitions of what is IoT. So mainly, how does it work? And why is it important to secure IoT? Because right now, what do we have? Think about any device. Okay? This device can be a normal lamp. It could be my t-shirt. Could be this remote, could be this fan, could be almost any device, right? What do I do with this device? I insert what's called a network interface card, okay? Or I can also just plug it mainly with another machine. It could be plugged to a Raspberry Pi, or it could be plugged with a desktop. And with that, I would use different connection types. It could be Wi-Fi, Bluetooth, it could be cellular, or radio frequency as well. With that, I would be able to connect this to other objects as well. And this is in a really simple manner what is IoT, Internet of Things. So we have different things. Those things are connected through this technology. What are those technology? Network interface card could be or specific machines. And we have this technology which is Wi-Fi, Bluetooth, Zigbee, cellular, and so on. So this is mainly for people who didn't have an idea of what IoT is before I talk about it. This is mainly what IoT is. And with the IoT increase, it said by 2030, the world may have about 100 trillion sensors. And there are also more than 20 billion connected devices, and this is mainly currently. With the growth mainly, it's mainly estimated by 2030 that the market would be 26%, 24%, and also 23%. That would be for China, Europe, and also North America. I mean, this is the market right now. And the market is expected to reach more than 1,000 billion USD worldwide. Okay? So, some fields, and this is heading right now. We have the healthcare, agriculture, sport, transportation. So let's get involved. So this is mainly just to give you a brief of some of the devices that's also used. So we have different devices used in the healthcare. So we have, for example, the asthma monitor. So this is mainly a specific device, again, connected with those technologies in order to monitor if you have any asthma or anything. And this would be also connected to your GP or your doctor. If you have any signs, it will go to their logs right away. We also have smart cameras and temperature sensors. We were using this during COVID as well in order to see if there's any symptoms of COVID. IT is also used in agriculture, so we have smart irrigations, we have crop managements, and also climate monitorings. With sport, we have wearable devices. So I'm sure a lot of you have seen mainly wearable. A lot of people use it for walking, also for heart monitoring. Transportation, intelligent transportation system, again uses IoT devices and sensors, smart cars, and also smart navigation. Home automation, we use smart fridges, smart homes mainly, and also smart speakers such as Alexas and so on. So you see that the application of IoT is a lot, is almost in every single field. That's why the security of those devices is extremely important, and that's why there's a lot of research area that's mainly headed on how to protect those devices as well. So what are the issues that comes with those devices? So most of these risks are privacy and security issues, which have huge impact on individual and also organization. Because we have huge number of sensors and also the ever increasing amount. So in the previous slide, you see the growth of IoT and how that growth will impact those privacy and security issues. Also, the information that could be leaked from IoT devices could be from basic IP addresses all the way to the state of our health. For example, if I put asthma monitor or healthcare device, and those many devices are not secure, and those information get leaked, what would happen? All those healthcare data would be leaked, which is a major issue as well. Those are the main issues that are being addressed in research right now. So we have the heterogeneous nature of IoT devices. What does that mean? It mainly means that, as you've seen in the first slide, IoT devices, they're not just use Wi-Fi. So Wi-Fi is not the only technology that we're using. Zigbee is not the only technology that we use it to connect it. Or neither Bluetooth is the only technology. So it does not use one technology. It's not that specific technology. We need to secure this technology and we'll be mainly heterogeneous means that it uses many things, different technologies it uses, which is a major issue in IoT. Also, it's from different vendors, different hardware's functions. So you can see it's all the way from smart house, smart fridges, to small sensor devices for agriculture and so on. So the hardware is a lot. Again, the ever-changing environment. So for each IoT devices, we might need a different environment. Also, policies and standards, what is acceptable, what is not acceptable, especially with GDPR and different policies. Again, the technology used varies a lot. So we have wireless sensor networks, radio frequency, cloud computing, and so on. And a major issue that we have is that we already have issue with wireless sensor networks. We already have issues with cloud computing. We already have issue with radio frequency. So all those technologies used already have issues. So when we talk about IoT, we need to address all these issues within each section. So you can see the complexity of it and how the issues might even increase even more. Also with the resource issues that we have, time, power, and storage. Mainly because IoT devices, again, could be small devices like this. So small devices, they won't have the limitation to have, or they would have the limitation of having a small storage. So you cannot, as Lika explained previously, so implementing an antivirus, intrusion detection system, a firewall system within those devices is incredibly a hard process. So this is just mainly to show you an idea again of the complexity of the whole thing. So I'm just mainly using a simple layer. So I'm just talking about the application layer, network layers, and also the perception layers. So mainly the network layers. So you can see that what technologies are used within each layer. So for example, application layer, we can use cloud computing, software, application, data mining, artificial intelligence. And the perception layer, we're using RFID wireless sensor and also GPS. And you can see with those red signs here, those are mainly the security issues that we have. Poor access management, cloud malware injection attacks, wrapping attacks, all those three are just mainly security issues for cloud computing within IoT. From this, you can see the research opportunity. Okay, so you can see that you can specialize in very specific things. So, for example, just access managing in cloud computing in IoT devices. Okay, that's just mainly a topic that would have multiple research. So, with all this, you would have many multiple research ideas in order because again, it's kind of a new field as well. So one of the areas that I was working on for the security measure was intrusion detection and prevention system. Okay, and I will explain briefly how does the intrusion detection system works and what algorithm can we implement in order to have security measures. Okay, so let's talk about the type of intrusion detection system first. So we have three types. We have host-based, we have network-based, and we also have hybrid intrusion detection system. So with the host base, it's mainly a security IDS that exists within the machine. So for example, I have this laptop. I want to protect this laptop. What do? I download an IDS in this laptop. So this is only the host, does not monitor anything else. Or I can get a standalone device which monitor every device connected in this university, for example. That would be a network-based IDS. So it's not just going to monitor one specific device, it would monitor all the devices. Each one with its disadvantage and advantage. For example, host-based can see encrypted packets, but network-based won't be able to see encrypted packets because encrypted packets needs to go to the host, go to the application layer, and go through the phases of bits packets. The detection method, again, great research area as well. So we have anomaly-based, signature-based, stateful protocol, specification, and hybrid. It's also a good idea to briefly understand those areas to see which area in research do you want to be involved in. So in the detection method, anomaly-based mainly, I'll try to explain this with the techniques as well. So with the techniques, we have statistical-based, knowledge-based, and also machine learning. So for anomaly-based, it uses both statistical-based and also use machine learning. So it uses both those techniques. So what is those techniques again? We feed data or a training data in order to train AIs or machine learnings in order to detect attacks. How do we do that? We have for example, this room right here, there is no current attack, right? We plug a training data set and we monitor the network. We keep monitoring it for days, 3 days, 1 week. And then the AI or the machine learning, it understands our current data. It knows that this is the usual, there is no attack. What do we do next? We try to attack this network. Again, this is a training data set. So we give it different type of attack. DOS attack, DDoS attacks, injection attack, SQL script attacks, and so on. With those type of attack, we will tell the data set that in those times we have an attack. So right now, the machine learning or the algorithm that we use, it knows that we know how the network is when it's normal. We know how the network is when we have an attack. As soon as we have this, the data set is trained, we can try to test that IDS, and we will see the accuracy of the IDS. Right now, what is why is the research is very competitive? Is because a lot of people doing different algorithms to see the accuracy of the detection rate, the detection of the attack. So started from the 1980 something all the way to 2026, we had an accuracy of 60%, increasing to 70%, increasing to 90%, and right now with specific attack we have an accuracy of almost 100% as well. So this is mainly how the anomaly would work with statistical based and also with machine learning. With signature-based, specification, stateful protocol, all those three would use a technique called knowledge-based. What is knowledge-based? Is mainly that you have a specific database. This database have different attacks. So it knows, for example, if I'm doing URL spoofing, it goes through these steps. If I have a sync acknowledgement attack, it goes through those steps. So it knows each step, each attack, and the steps to it. So as soon as that database recognizes this is one of the steps that's happening in the network, it would be like, oh, there's an attack that is happening. This is mainly the knowledge base and mainly how it works. What is the issue with knowledge base is that, what do we need? Our data base needs to be huge, okay? in order to accommodate all different type of attacks. Again, what is the issue that we have with this as well is zero-day attack. Anyone know what zero-day attack is? Anyone can tell me what is zero-day attack? So mainly zero-day attack is an attack that happens right now, at the day. So this attack is not discovered yet by the organization. It can be a new attack. So since knowledgeable base, it uses this database and attacks that we already know, it will be able to detect them. But if we got a new attack that the database does not know, we won't be able to detect that specific attack. That's why sometimes right now statistical base and machine learning is better, because it can just detect normal traffic from abnormal traffic. Regardless of the attack, it can tell that there's something different in the network, there's something abnormal, so it will detect that attack. Okay. Is the time good or? No?
Can we have a break? Tea break.
Huh?
Tea break.
Tea break, okay.
How long? How long?
No, I'm going to finish this in 1 minute,
Sure.
and I will be done with that. Okay, so sorry for that because it took longer than expected. So one of the issues, again, that we have in the research is that a lot of research paper, they have different detection method they use, different techniques they use, RNN, SVMs, so those are machine learning algorithm. They use testing platforms, so they can use Arduino, they're using a virtual environment, they can use a specific desktop. The data set that we could try to work with those intrusion detection algorithms could be generated traffics, old data sets, so some of them use data set of 1999, a very famous data set, but it's outdated. And I'm just gonna move to the main point. Yeah. So, in one of the research that I did, we found that almost 60% of research paper, they do not provide the accuracy. So they would create an IDS that says this is an IDS, but they're not going to show us the accuracy. Again, there is about more than 40% that they do not provide the detection rate. Again, because IDS, it uses resource, so we need to know the time, the CPU usage, the RAM usage. So there is more than 50% of research that also they do not provide the resource consumption. And with the data sets, there's about 50% that use existing data sets, which is sometimes outdated. Some of them, 20%, they don't even mention which data set they use for that specific research. So this is also, again, one of the issues that we have with IDS. And one of the things that I did is create a framework in order to go through a few different steps in order to make sure that we have a valid IDS system. And I'll conclude it to that. Thank you, everyone.
So now we'll have a very Okay, now we'll have a short tea break and we'll come back at 1 o'clock exactly.